So here's something most people don't realize. While Alexander the Great was off conquering Persia, toppling empires, founding cities, basically rewriting world history, Greece was on the brink of an open rebellion. And not just any rebellion. The one that was led by Sparta. Yeah, that's Sparta. Today we're talking about the Battle of Megalopolis. A battle most people have never heard of. The one that quietly decided the future of Greece. Before we jump in, real quick, if you like long-form history stories like this, like the video, subscribe, and comment for the historical fact channel. It really helps the channel out, and it lets me know you want more content like this. Alright, let's set the scene. By 331 BC, Alexander isn't even in Greece anymore. He's already smashed the Persians at Essos, taken Egypt, founded Alexandria, and now he's marching toward Mesopotamia for what will become the final showdown with King Darius. From Greece's point of view, Alexander might as well be on another planet. And when a ruler leaves for that long, people start asking questions, like, do we really still have to listen to Macedonia? Sparta definitely thought so, because Sparta never really accepted Macedonian rule in the first place. Sparta had been crushed at Chaeronea in 338 BC. That battle ended Sparta's role as a major power, and the Spartans hated it. They hated Philip II, they hated Macedonia, and they definitely didn't respect Alexander. So when Alexander disappears into Asia, the Spartan King Agis III sees an opening. And it's a rare one. Macedonian troops are gone. Greek cities are restless. Persia, of all people, is willing to help. Agis starts building alliances across the Peloponnese. He even gets experienced Greek mercenaries who had been fighting for the Persian king before Alexander wrecked everything.
Get back in formation, you drunken fool!
By early 331 BC, Sparta is openly in revolt. This isn't a protest, this is war. Now, Alexander didn't leave Greece undefended. He left Antipater in charge, a capable, experienced general. But here's the problem. Antipater is stuck. Because just as Sparta rebels, Thrace explodes in revolt up north. So Antipater can't march south right away. He has to secure Macedonia first or risk losing everything. And that delay gives Agis exactly what he needs: time. At the end of 331 BC, Sparta controls much of the Peloponnese. For a moment, it looks like the old Greek world might actually come back. Eventually, Alexander hears what's happening, and his response is very Alexander. He's in Susa, deep inside the Persian Empire. Instead of panicking, he sends money, troops, and supplies back to Macedonia. No speeches, no dramatic return, just resources. It's his way of saying, I don't need to be there. This will handle itself. Once Antipater finishes in Thrace, he finally turns south, with an army of around 40,000 men. Now the clock is ticking for Sparta. At this point, Agis is besieging the city of Megalopolis. And Megalopolis absolutely hates Sparta. The city was literally founded to block Spartan power. Surrender isn't happening. Then Agis gets the news. Antipater has crossed the Isthmus of Corinth. Agis is furious and reportedly says the Corinthians are, quote, bad gatekeepers of the Peloponnese, end quote. Honestly, not wrong, but insults won't stop an army that big. Agis pulls back from Megalopolis and chooses a narrow battlefield nearby. He knows this is it. Let's talk numbers. Agis has about 22,000 men. Antipater has close to 40,000. Not great odds. Agis lines up his forces carefully. Allies on the left, veteran mercenaries in the center, Spartans on the right, led by Agis himself. Antipater uses classical Macedonian tactics. Phalanx in the center, Greek allies in the wings, Illyrians facing the Spartans, cavalry waiting reserve. This is old Greece versus the new Macedonian war machine. The fighting is brutal. At first the Spartans hold. They always do. But the Macedonians start tightening their formations, pushing forward as one massive unit. Slowly, painfully. The rebel line starts to crack. Then disaster hits. Agis is wounded. He's carried off the battlefield. But even then he refuses to give up. From the rear he orders the cavalry to kill anyone who runs. No retreat, no surrender. But reality catches up. The line collapses. Agis realizes there's no escape, so he gives the order for a general withdrawal. And then, like something straight out of legend, he stays behind. Agis III dies fighting, struck down by a spear. A Spartan king to the very end. The casualties are heavy. Ancient sources disagree, but somewhere between 3,500 and 5,300 rebels are killed. Macedonia loses around 1,000 men, which shows just how fierce the fighting was. But the outcome is clear. The rebellion collapses. Sparta is finished as a political force. No Greek city ever seriously challenges Macedonia again. When Alexander hears about the battle, he reportedly calls it the, quote, Battle of the Mice, end quote. A small fight, barely worth mentioning, but for Greece, it changed everything. The Battle of Megalopolis wasn't Alexander's greatest battle, but it was Sparta's last. After this, Greece enters the Hellenistic world, ruled not by city-states, but by kings and empires. If you enjoyed this kind of conversational deep dive into ancient history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment for the Historical Facts channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.